Hey everybody, before you continue watching the video, make sure you give the channel a like and subscribe. Go and follow us on Instagram. Go and check out all the different social media scenarios. Make sure if you're enjoying the content, go there, like, subscribe, follow, so we can keep putting stuff out. If you've got any questions, leave a comment. All right, make a comment on either of our pages and we'll answer them as soon as we can.
Working.
Yeah, you were doing some work, but let's just go back to the jiu-jitsu thing. I didn't know that you started at 12, so I thought you just kept doing judo up until you're in uni. So you started jiu-jitsu. How did that happen? And just talk about like doing jiu-jitsu all up until when you started to do certain things or almost go into doing your own stuff.
So
working for yourself. Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu. I was very fortunate in a jiu-jitsu world. I was super fortunate because I live in a condo,
yeah, and
that condo has a lot of big names of jiu-jitsu living there. And
did you know at the time, like, were you aware of these people, or
yes,
they were famous, or whatever?
I was playing soccer. I was going to the beach, and I was seeing fights happening.
Yeah,
and they happening, and these guys are like, some of them were my friends, and they get in fights, and they kind of doing well in fights. There was a lot of fights back then in Brazil. It was probably different than now. It was a lot more fights. And they doing well in fights, and they, I look up to them and I go, well, there are fights. Every party I go, there's a fight. Every concert I go, there's a fight. It's not a one-on-one fight. It was like a bros, right?
Yeah.
And I'm with these guys. So I just realized super quick, man, I better train with these guys, because it's going to hit the fans soon, So that was my
motivation.
That was my motivation, and they also brought me up. Hey, come with us, So that was my initiation in jiu-jitsu. But that place was very a lot of focus on fighting, a lot of focus on there wasn't the best
like
education,
street stuff,
I mean?
Yeah.
I was good for a few things, you know what I mean? But I wasn't the best environment, I think, and so then at the same time, because I was in this condo, there was another teacher, a much older guy, that was actually Cavaca's coach.
Yeah.
His name is Elcio Venâncio.
Yeah.
So he was a gym instructor. He had a gym in my condo, and he also did jiu-jitsu. Very old school, tough, like really, really tough, really strong, very old school, just like Americana, Amba, just the
basic
foundations.
Stuff, yeah.
But man, you get the guy there, you must submit the guy. You know what I mean? There's no,
maybe, yeah.
You're gonna get it. You know what I mean? So it was very, very good, I guess. You know what I mean? Like as a teacher, it was good experience, but a lot more more focus on the sport, more focus on. There's still, like a lot of self-defense, but more focus on away from the violence.
Tournament jiu-jitsu almost.
Yeah.
So how old were you when you changed over to the other gym? So you trained from 12 years old to when at this first gym?
So what happened was, because this was in the gym inside the condo that I lived, and then he moved to Santos. He moved to São Paulo,
okay,
where he started teaching Cavaca.
Yeah,
which is Bochecha coach. People here don't know he's first coach.
So did you start with the guy in the condo, the Cavaca's coach first?
Yes.
Okay, and then where'd you go after that? And how old were you when you changed?
Then when he left, there was a friend of mine that was
training jiu-jitsu.
Already black belt. There was actually three black belts, three friends of mine. They all lovely. I still have contact with them nowadays. One is a doctor, and two work in a bank, but they all had jiu-jitsu. They do hobby, but they really good at the time, and so they went teach there. So it was 1 day each.
They were teaching in the condo.
Yeah. So when Elcio went to São Paulo, they assumed they took
Take
over
his position. Yeah.
And and that was very nice as well. Like 3 different coaches, completely different style.
Yeah.
You know, one to be more serious, the other one to be more like, you know, want to be with us, you know, and so that was really cool. Like really
Different mix of coaches and influence.
That was nice. That was super nice.
How old were you at this time, and like what belt level were you?
I was when I also left, I got my blue belt.
Okay.
And so, but yeah, and then when these 3 guys, these 3 mates of mine, they used to train at Alliance.
How old were you when you got your blue belt?
15.
Okay.
15 or 16. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, probably 16, I think. So they train at Alliance, and and then at that time, like Alliance had like just a headquarters in Leblon, Rio de Janeiro. They had like a every Saturday there was 10 trainings, 10 minutes, closed doors, no water, and then you finish. You go on the big stairs, like you have to go up and down,
running up and down. Yeah.
Crazy times. Windows
Pushing
closed.
to the limit.
Yeah, push to insanity, like unhealthy. Some people said if you learn jiu-jitsu in Brazil in the 80s and 90s, you're a survivor. You're not a practitioner. You know what I mean? I agree with that 100%. So when they went on with their careers and they could not teach anymore,
Yeah.
when they changed states, etc., then they said, look, you need now to get a bit more training, and they took us to Vini and Ratinho, which just opened a branch of Alliance close to my house.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you give it a like, subscribe, and a follow. Check out all our different social media platforms. There's heaps of content coming out. There's different snippets and content on different platforms. So make sure you're on everything. And again, if it helped you out, recommend to somebody else, and hopefully it'll help them out too.